Hello, this is your teacher here. This is going to be the pre-preface to the calculus course. Both the 1 and the 2. Given that I've decided after all I'm going to split it into 2 parts, like most colleges do. This college lecture for Calculus 1, Calculus 2. It's going to be more lean on the easy side, to keep things simple for me and for you. Obviously, you can tell we're at the train station, where I do many of my videos, but I'm going to be getting software that will help me do this at home. So the pre-preface, here's going to be what goes down in Calculus 1. I'm going to start with 1, of course. Why not? We start by discussing fundamentals for functions. Recall from pre-calculus the polynomials, the trig theorems, and other things like conic sections. Lots of other functions too. Unless that's it. Then we move on to functions in the form of calculus. We discuss things like the chain rule, function composition, different types of functions like radical, polynomial, trigonomic, exponential, and logarithmic. The 2 there that I didn't say at first are the other functions I was talking about. Then we move on to the more calculus-based things, like limits, derivatives, and some integration. Although integration will be limited on Calculus 1. Integration will be limited on Calculus 1. Okay. Limits will be teaching places where things are discontinuous and like poles, limits and functions. Continuity, that'll be a short unit. Whereas we move on to derivatives, differential equations, which is the name of a course that comes after Calculus 3. But it's different. These differential equations are very easy, unlike those. We'll be discussing derivatives of polynomials first, mainly monomials and binomials, but you can get more complex as like a challenge question. Then radicals, sine and cosine. So that's what I'm going to limit to in trigonometry because of how complex it gets to be after that with theorems. And limited exponential and logarithmic derivatives in differential equations. Higher order derivatives will be a thing because that's basically simple when it's polynomials or sine and cosine. That's where we'll do it. And then it'll be integration to sum it all up with indefinite integrals and some finding the geometric integral with the integration by parts of definite integrals. Mainly just doing polynomials and sine and cosine functions for those integrals. Now, Calculus 2 both makes things easier while more fulfilling, since they'll cover some of the stuff Calculus 3 covers, but it won't get as tough into Calculus 2 as before. That's why the Secure School course is called Calculus Differential Equations and Linear Algebra, alternatively. And I know I said I wasn't going to be one of the things I said in an earlier video said I wasn't going to be doing this, but after all, I am, just to fill up the time on YouTube while I'm at my own apartment. So I just started living on my own. Calculus 2 basically gives a review of Calculus 1. It adds exponential logarithmic functions into more elaborate detail along with the other trig functions. It adds integration of other functions that haven't been covered, integration of radicals, other trig functions, and exponents and logarithms. It'll also bring into play more sequences and series, which actually will be discovered and discussed in Calculus 1 a little bit minorly. And then finally the time function, or the parametric polar equations. Then they'll discuss vectors, vector spaces, and three-dimensional functions, such as derivatives and integrals in 3 dimensions. And finally, the gradient vector, which is like the tangent line that will be discussed in Calculus 1, but it's 3 dimensions. That'll be it. This video is running long.